Christmas special. Put a podcast that talks to you all about mythology, cryptids, myths, monsters, aliens, ghosts, folklore,
files,
stuff.
Scientologists, Mormons.
Tonight's our
so quiet.
awesome Christmas special episode. Yeah. Tonight we are going to be covering Santa Claus.
Yeah.
At long last. Last year we did the pagan origins of Christmas. It's time to do the actual Father of Christmas.
Yeah. And we're going to have a lot of stuff. A lot of history. A lot of old news.
So why don't you get started, because I know you dug way farther back than I did.
Okay.
So hit me, Charlie. Where does Santa
come from? Okay. So we're going to talk about the true beginning of Santa Claus. We got to start with like the prehistoric proto-Germanic winter spirits. This is before the 1st century, kind of. So basically, we had this culture in this area. So this is, all over Europe, where they had anonymous spirits tied to earth, winter survival, and household luck. They were known to observe human behavior during the darkest part of the year, and they expected offerings of food or drinks.
Right, as most people that show up to your house do.
So it was basically, we have to give to these spirits in order to get rewards of generosity or get punished for neglect. So if you didn't treat the spirits well, bad things would happen. If you treated the spirits well, you would get gifts and prizes and fun stuff from the spirits, right? So it's a seasonal visitor that watches homes and families and rewards generosity and
good behavior,
punishes neglect. We're getting into the first idea of that, like, winter spirit idea.
This is the first. That does things for good things and does bad things for bad things.
Yeah. So we didn't have, a specific, we don't have the Santa name yet.
But
we don't have.
You did say you gave them treats and things, right?
Yes.
Could this be where milk and cookies and carrots for Santa and his reindeer come from?
Yeah. No, this is the original roots to that. This is what I'm basically going to be getting to, right? So I'm going to go over a few of them. So you have Desir, which was one of like the Proto-Germanic ones. It was a female ancestral spirit or household spirit. It guarded families and homes. It was closely tied to fate, birth, and protection. And it was honored during winter rituals, right? So household guardianship, ancestral watching presence. That's kind of what its contribution to Christmas started. Cool. Right? Then we had kobolds. They were from like the Germany area. Mm-hmm. They were small household mind spirits. They kind of did both. They were helpful if respected and destructive if ignored.
Yeah, they're kind of goblin-y.
Yes.
Yeah.
Kind of goblin-y. And then you would give them food offerings.
Right.
So that's where we got the kind of reward versus punishment aspect.
Right.
Domestic supernatural presence there too.
Right.
Then we also had the Tomte and the Nisei, which we talked about them.
Right, we talked about them on our Elf episode.
Yeah. Bearded, small, elderly farm spirits. They watched over farms during winter, and also, damn, I can't talk today. Also expected offerings or porridge.
Porridge.
Yeah.
Specifically, they want porridge.
These we're starting to get into basically Santa's elves idea. I know we talked about a little bit of, the disconnect with Santa Claus and elves. But there has been, with Christmas tradition, elves in there way before they even started talking about Santa Claus.
Right.
Now, we also had Domovoi. They're Slavic, closely related to, like, Indo-Europeans. Their household guardian spirits warned families of danger and punished disrespect. So, once again, moral surveillance, watching who's bad or good. And then there's a bunch of other like nature spirits that they talked about, which kind of gets into some of the idea of like trees and wreaths and stuff like that. But we're going to break into that when we get into more like the Viking-y stuff, which I was about to jump into.
Go for it.
All right.
I have nothing until St. Nick. I started at St. Nicholas.
Okay, cool. So Odin and the Wild Hunt.
Right.
So we're talking kind of like the pre-Christian era. At like 500 BCE. So what he added to Christmas. Let's start. He's a bearded elder traveling dude in the winter sky. He had an 8-legged horse.
That Loki gave birth to.
Yeah. I can't even say his name. Can you say his name? Sleipnir. And children would leave in their boots straw for Sleipnir.
Okay.
And basically the horse would eat that and then leave gifts in the boots in return. Okay. So, like, the Wild Hunt was, like, a big thing where he would go through the sky with ghosts and spirits and other gods with him, right? And it was like, oh, if you saw them, you would get killed. And it was kind of, like, seen as, like, this judgment of humanity. And he was really known to be doing these wild hunts during Christmas time.
Right.
Now, That's Odin's kind of personal aspect into Christmas there. But I want to talk about things like mistletoe. So in Scandinavian mythology, Balder, the god of light and goodness, was slain by an arrow poisoned with mistletoe. When his mother Frigga cried for him, her tears fell on red berries, turning them white. The white berries then became powerful enough to resurrect Balder, and it was used as a symbol of renewal for resurrection. And that's how mistletoe became like this whole idea with winter spirits after that.
Okay.
And they started celebrating it and hanging it.
What does making out come with?
I don't know.
This thing killed a god. Let's make out because
I think that was just kind of added on later. Next, I was going to the Christmas caroling. Okay. So it was also known as wassailing or wassailing, which has Old Norse and Anglo-Saxon origins. Traditionally, peasants would visit their feudal lords and sing songs in exchange for gifts and treats. This was way before Christmas, too, by the way. This is still long, long ago. And then 12 Days of Christmas came from the midwinter feast that lasted 12 days, which is where the modern 12 Days of Christmas pretty much came from. Scandinavians also used to decorate you're going to hate this because I know you have a whole tree thing. But Scandinavians used to decorate evergreen trees with statues, food, clothing, and runes as tributes to the gods. Now, this is where you disagree a little bit. Additionally, it was believed that spirits living in the trees went away during the winter months and could be coaxed back with household offerings. Right. Evergreens were brought into the house to bring life and color to the otherwise bleak and dark dwelling. Also, Christmas ham became a thing because Vikings used to sacrifice a wild boar in hopes of a beautiful harvest for the next spring. So during Yule, they'd go ahead and kill a fucking boar and be like, cool, we're going to have a good harvest next year. And it just turned into us making ham every year for Christmas. Which is cool.
Christmas ham.
Yeah. Yule logs, obviously. I don't think I need to dive into that too much, but
we did that in our last episode. Yeah. Our last Christmas episode.
And then Christmas wreaths, too, in honor of the winter solstice, which marks the sun's return and the beginning of the longer days. Vikings created sun wheels, which very much resembled the Christmas wreath. That's pretty much the extent of the Viking contribution, right? So it was all of these older traditions that were highly focused in their religious aspects. And while at the same time this is happening, in the a little bit later on, in the 5th and 6th century, they started honoring St. Nicholas.
So here's where I'm going to break in.
Okay.
Because St. Nicholas actually was born and lived in the 4th century. Well, end of the 4th century. He was born, or the end of the 3rd century into the 4th century he lived. Yeah. So St. Nicholas, he lived in technically modern-day Turkey in Anatolia. But he was at the height of Roman Empire Turkey, so Byzantine-ish kind of thing. He was also known as Nicholas of Myra, Nicholas of Bari, and Nicholas the Wonder Maker. Yes. So, Nicholas is the patron saint of a lot of things. Sailors, merchants, archers for some reason, repentant thieves, so brewers, pawnbrokers, unmarried people, students, and here's the two most important ones. Yeah. Children. Yeah. And toy makers. Yes. So, he's mostly known for giving secret gifts to the poor, mostly the children. And his biggest story was that he once secretly paid the dowry for 3 women that were going to be sold into prostitution if they couldn't get married in time. And the only issue with all of this is that there's very little historical evidence of St. Nicholas actually from his own time period. Yes. A lot of things were written about him almost hundreds of years after. He became kind of like a historic celebrity. Yeah. At the time. Almost like we did with Christopher Columbus, kind of. There's more. I mean, we have a lot of we have a lot, but we also have a lot that we just threw at him and was like, this is what he did. Right. So, because there's not a lot of written anything. It was a very tumultuous time for the Roman Empire when he was around. Yeah. I think that's, I'm going to have to fact check myself, but that's close to the Byzantine split. Yeah. So, him being on the Byzantine side of things, there's some shit going on. So a lot of records were lost. A lot of anything written was kind of not there. Not a lot of history keeping was being kept up with the way that the Romans normally would be doing because this upheaval. But there is a church that was erected for him in the 6th century, the Church of St. Nicholas of Myra, and there are historical accounts of his worship and veneration. Yeah. And they started a feast for St. Nick, and it's actually on December 6th. Yeah. So it wasn't worship. This is where the split comes in and what happened. Right. So they
basically were honoring saints at this period.
Yeah, not worship in the sense like he was a god, but more like you would pray to specific saints for specific things, and he became one of those symbols.
So there was a huge split that happened, but let's talk about kind of what they were doing for him. So by the late 5th and early 6th century, they started a feast day for St. Nicholas. And churches in like the Eastern Roman Empire started honoring him annually, and the commemoration day was December 6th.
Yes.
And that's when they had basically the biggest
feast of Saint Nick.
And it was his birthday is what they were saying.
Right. Which is wrong.
It wasn't.
Because he was born in March.
Yeah.
He died in December.
Yes.
So they might have oopsied.
Yeah. Well,
and I did fact check myself.
Similar to, this is also how
Christianity works. They just move things.
Yeah, but also how they got celebrating Jesus' birthday on December 25th too, which I'll get into in a second.
Right, because he was born in the spring.
Yes. Well, he died in 9 months after December 25th. And it was kind of a spiritual idea then that prophets would die 9 months after their conception in the year. Not like in the same year, but that was their birthday, was 9 months after their conception. Well, no.
The death day.
The death day.
The birthday was 9 months before they died.
Yes.
That's weird.
Yes. Okay.
And I did fact check myself. The Roman Empire split at the end of the 300s.
Okay.
So makes sense that now, he dies, and then all of a sudden the Roman Empire falls apart within 50 years, and they lost a lot of records.
Yeah. So basically, since they started doing this feast, St. Nicholas became the most popular saint in the East, pretty much. At this point, December 6th was like a non-negotiable holiday. It was happening. In the 9th century, Western Europe kind of adopted it fully. Monasteries and churches across Germany, France, Italy, Low Countries started adopting the feast day. And by the Carolingian period,
the what?
Carolingian period. It's in between the 9th and 10th century. December 6th is standard across the whole.
I'm not even trying to say that either.
Yeah. Carolingian period. In between the 9th and 10th century, guys. All right?
Okay.
That's what matters. So the 10th and 12th centuries, right? So the feast day kind of started to turn folkloric. So children would receive small gifts on December 6th. Shoes are left out at night before St. Nicholas starts becoming a visitor, a judge of behavior, and a giver of awards. It's still not Christmas, but the feast day was kind of happening and helping the whole idea.
Right.
So shoes, boots, bowls, and tools were left near the doorway. These spots were seen as thresholds between worlds. So offerings were meant for household spirits, ancestors, and winter visitors at this time frame. So we have all these older traditions that are now blending in with St. Nicholas.
Modern traditions, right?
Yes, with modern traditions.
Well, modern of the time.
So shoes specifically, they represented travel, the human body, and daily labor, right? Mm-hmm. So leaving them out symbolically said, we acknowledge the visitor and invite favor, not harm.
Right. So Sinterklaas is St. Nick, but he is the Dutch Germanic kind of interpretation of him that comes from the 5th century now.
Yeah.
So we've moved out of Byzantine Roman and we're into like Germanic-y, kind of barbaric-y, Northern European.
What century?
5th century. I have.
Sinterklaas?
That's where it first comes to being.
Oh, I have this way later.
Oh, wow, okay.
Yeah. 16th century.
Yeah, no.
It was because of Reformation.
Sinterklaas was around way back.
No way.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
Yeah, Sinterklaas started because it was just like the tales of the Roman Empire Saint Nick stuff.
Yeah.
Right? Because he got venerated by the 6th century in Rome. He was like a saint and all this crazy stuff going on. But there was all these beliefs that Saint Nick was leaving gifts and all these things. So then you get into word of mouth and travel and all these things going on. It makes its way up into the Dutch colonies and things of, the Danes and all that. And they're like, oh, the Sinterklaas.
Yeah.
And then they start their own tales. So their Sinterklaas is Saint Nicholas in Dutch.
So
it's just their old 5th century tellings is of this nice man that gives presents. It didn't evolve into the legend that is Sinterklaas until, like you said, the closer to the 15th, 16th centuries in the, Middle Ages almost.
Well, that's what I was going to... So Sinterklaas is pretty much just the vernacular transition from St. Nicholas.
Right.
Exactly. And it turned into Sinterklaas.
Right. And the whole legend, once it actually grew into its own thing, he arrives on November 11th. So Sinterklaas shows up early.
Yeah.
And then spends the next almost month riding around the countryside on a horse, giving gifts to kids. And he drops them in their shoes.
Yeah.
Much like with everything else.
So we had a split in the church. So it was all Catholics. And then when it starts we start getting to like Protestantism, which discouraged saint veneration because they were thinking honoring it was turning too close to worship.
Right, and it became almost another god.
Yeah, and they thought it was more of like idol worship. But the people refused to give up on the tradition. Right. So St. Nicholas kind of went underground at this point. So it became more folklore than church, and it started becoming more of a in-home thing versus a church thing. Right. So keeps the gifts, loses the sermons. This is when we first separating religion from Christmas, kind of.
Right, from sainthood from Santa Claus.
So Sinterklaas survives because he stops being religious kind of like out loud here. So from like the 17th to 18th centuries, this is the evolution of how Sinterklaas became Sinterklaas. Right. So they say that he arrives by boat from Spain. So Spain ruled the Netherlands at this time period. So Spain kind of symbolized it was from someplace far away and a place of authority. Right. And that's where they just said he came here from Spain. That also gave a reason for his annual absence, kept him external and mysterious. This is kind of where like folklore engineering is happening. Now, Dutch settlers bring Sinterklaas to New Amsterdam.
Before we get there,
okay,
I want to also bring up his little buddy.
Yes.
Or were you going to do that later?
No, you go ahead and talk about it.
Because we have Zwarte Piet.
Yeah.
Which stands for Black Pete. And that stands for, it translates to Black Pete.
Yeah.
And he was, was it Moor? Is that the word for it?
I don't know.
The Africans? I think he was a Moor. I think it's Moor. He was a Moorish man that apparently would help out with Sinterklaas. He kind of rode around with him, and he would also give presents. But he would also like whack bad kids with a stick.
Yeah, this is also the evolution of the whole Krampus thing.
A little bit, yeah. It starts to come from Zwart. This is part of the beginning of the evolution of Santa's helpers. Yeah. With the elves and things, because this is his first.
Well, he had a posse, pretty much.
Yeah.
So there was
the wild hunt and everything else that came with.
Yeah, they kept adding more and more to it. So we have a lot of still older winter solstice pagan traditions from that area that's involving with the Saint Nicholas. So it's almost like
the bridge.
Yeah, so I for a long time thought Christianity kind of ate the winter solstice, but it's the more I'm learning about it, it seems like the winter solstice ate Saint Nicholas and brought him into this. And then they just kind of merged over.
Yeah, it kind of was like this weird cheese grater thing where like they were both like, we want to exist at the same time until they both overlapped enough of each other and went, Christmas.
Yeah, because the Protestants originally were trying to get rid of
Saint Nick
and Christmas celebrations. Right. Which just wasn't Christmas yet, by the way. This wasn't Christmas.
This was just the Feast of Saint Nick.
This was just the Feast of Saint Nick, right? And we're still celebrating December 6th.
Right.
As Sinterklaas is a vernacular translation of Saint Nick. Yeah. Santa Claus is the vernacular translation of Sinterklaas.
Which is this vernacular translation of Saint Nick.
Yes. So the religious saint side of this has completely fucking faded out. We have made two completely new words out of Saint Nick. We have Santa Claus because of Sinterklaas, because when they were saying Saint Nick and it just...
Sinterklaas.
Oh, Sinterklaas, yeah. This is kind of when December 6th stopped being like the steady date with this. They just kind of kept it like a winter thing, right? And this was all just for like Dutch settlers at the time. So Santa's very vague, regional, and barely described right now. But he exists more than just as a character. It's like a known name now.
But this also now creates a little bit more of a framework of modern Christmas with... So he shows up on the 11th.
Yeah.
We have almost a month of Sinterklaas. Riding around Santa Clausing up. Then you have December 5th and 6th. You have Sinterklaasvond.
Yeah.
Which is Sinterklaas Eve.
Yeah.
Is the 5th. You give a lot of gifts on the 5th.
Yeah.
Then the 6th, Santa leaves and you give the rest of your gifts.
Yeah.
That's the beginning of the Christmas Eve and Christmas tradition. Kind of there.
Kind of, yeah.
So, yeah, we start to see the evolution coming more out of this now.
Yeah.
And this is also the first time we start to get some kind of personification closer to Santa now.
Yeah.
A coded figure. He's not in a monk robe anymore, or a saint robe, or a bishop's robe. He's now in winter gear. Still not the Santa we know today, but it's a little bit... We're getting more towards the right stuff.
And it wasn't till the 1800s, really.
Right.
Where it all locks in with the night before Christmas.
Well, before that even, we have Father Christmas.
Yes, okay.
And that's the 15th to the 17th-ish
Yeah.
century. So the 15th century, they started doing Father Christmas, which was the English version of Sinterklaas.
Yeah.
Essentially. And this was just the personification of Christmas because, again, like you said, the church was starting to be like, yo, we can't worship St. Nick. We're getting a little bit too close to God here.
Yeah.
So they were like, you know what? Well, then Christmas is a guy.
Yeah.
Boom.
Well, this is also when they determined Christ's birthday.
Right.
Was going to be December 25th because of he died in March. All right, so the day this is what the belief was. I fucked it up before. The day they died was also supposed to be the day that he was conceived. Okay. So he died March 25th on the cross. Okay. So 9 months after that is
would have
December.
been the day he birthed.
Yes, was the day he was born, which is December 25th. There is absolutely no date for the birth of Christ in the Bible.
Yeah.
But this is just what the belief system was at the time. So they started thinking of it like that.
Right.
The Catholic Church didn't celebrate birthdays, though.
Right. They only celebrated death days.
Yeah. So they thought that was the day, but they didn't really celebrate it.
This one.
Yeah, they looked at celebrating birth as like a pagan tradition at the time. So it never really caught on till later on when they were like, "Oh, there's a pagan holiday. We
should do something about that.
We should do something about that." Like they did with like Halloween and you know.
And Father Christmas actually was an adult thing. There was no real connection to the children until the Victorian era, which I believe the 17th century. That was kind of that. Father Christmas doing his thing. Yeah. Then we get into the American Santa.
Yeah. So American Santa, the blueprint really hit home at 1823.
I got before that.
What?
1809.
Okay.
Washington Irving writes that St. Nick flies in a wagon.
Yeah, okay.
Then, in 1810, Alexander Anderson creates the first image of Santa Claus filling stockings with gifts.
Yes.
Then you got 1823.
The night before Christmas. Yeah. And this poem basically described Santa, and it was locked in from there on.
Right, that's the first time we hear about about reindeer.
Yeah.
It's the first time we have the jolly old elf.
Yeah.
It's the first time we have this happy fat guy.
So there is a lot of echoes of pagan tradition in this poem too. So basically he talks about Santa going around on Christmas Eve, delivering presents with 8 reindeer, which also happens to be the number of legs that Odin's horse had.
Yes.
Which was kind of a connection right there.
Also, did you know that a horse actually makes more than 1 horsepower?
What do you mean?
When we talk about a horsepower engine, it's not the strength of a horse.
I don't think they're actually measuring the power of the engine in horses.
It should be if it's horsepower.
I know, but that's not
But I looked it up. It's not. It's not the strength of a horse.
Okay, well, horses are all different
actually
strengths.
Makes more than a horsepower.
I'm sure, yes. Yeah, so I could imagine.
It should be the strength of one horsepower.
No, that's...
But apparently a horse is stronger than 1 horsepower.
Well, all horses, there's horses that have different strength. You know, it's like a human power.
Well, they should have standardized it and figured it out.
Yeah.
The average horse should be 1 horsepower, but no.
Yeah. But he also talks about chimney entry here, sacks of toys. He's described as a small elf for the first time, joyful, non-threatening tone of Santa. This is when Santa becomes predictable, friendly, and domestic. And crucially, for children.
Yes.
It's like the first time ever.
Then we get a further evolution in the 60s.
Yes. Or 1860s.
Yeah, 1860s. That Thomas Nast was drawing cartoons for Harper's Weekly of Santa Claus. Yeah. And that's where he started adding the iconic features of the North Pole, his elves, his toy workshop, and his chubby physique.
And he basically based it off of that poem, except for Santa.
Right.
He made Santa big and not a small elf.
Not a tiny man.
Not a tiny man.
Yep.
It gave him authority without menace and kind of nationalized him.
Yep.
So Santa now belongs to America as a whole, just not New York.
And then Coca-Cola.
Coca-Cola, yes. Coca-Cola. Do you want to talk? I know you...
Shoot, all I got, it's pretty much just the Santa we know today comes from a Coca-Cola ad.
Yes.
That's what we think this thing is like, oh, this ancient tradition. Santa. Nah, man. Came from the 30s, Coca-Cola trying to sell you a soda pop.
That's where the red suit came from. That's where the fucking red suit came from.
Yeah.
Christmas becomes family-centered. Gift-giving explodes. Department stores hire Santas. Chimneys and stockings become standard. Coca-Cola polishes Santa in the 1930s. Coca-Cola did not invent Santa, as we talked about, but he reinvented Santa. Yeah, standardized the red shirt, emphasize warmth and friendliness. They fix his proportions and smile. They broadcast him everywhere. Coca-Cola had the power to do that, to send Santa Claus over the entire country, and people were like, oh, fuck. He looks the same from coast to coast, finally. The variations between Santa is no longer a thing. Right, everybody knows what Santa looks like.
Because Coca-Cola
said so. The image becomes dominant.
They're probably the ones that told you about the trees, too.
Yeah. So, he's got the Sinterklaas name still. He's got the St. Nicholas's generosity.
Right.
Odin's sky travel.
Jolly St. Nick and all that.
Yeah. He had Odin's sky travel, Yule spirit surveillance, Victorian domestic morality, and American consumer ritual. All while wearing a red coat.
Yeah, wait a minute.
Yeah.
Coke cans are red.
Yeah,
if
Coke cans are red.
Imagine if Pepsi invented him, he'd be blue.
Yeah. Yeah.
Or like Mountain Dew, he'd be neon green.
Yeah. And now we have Santa. And it's cool, though, because I always thought it was just Christianity that just kind of stepped on another old pagan holiday.
Yeah.
But it's not.
This one was kind of like them doing that hand game where it's like...
Yeah, it's us, it's them, it's us, it's them, it's us, it's them.
Until finally it was like, no, it's Coca-Cola.
And at the end of the day...
it was consumerism.
For all of our, like, Christmas traditions and things that we do, not much of them are kind of around Christ at all.
Anymore, no.
The only thing that is really hits on the nail on the head is the date.
And the nativity being such a big part of it.
Yeah, like most of the holiday tradition is, it's not entirely old pagan folklore, but a lot of it is. And St. Nicholas, too. It's funny because you have a bunch of Protestant families that don't honor saints.
St. Nicholas, but they still believe in Santa Claus.
But they still believe in Santa Claus now, and they still teach Santa Claus. And so it's almost got a complete disconnect from St. Nicholas. Mm-hmm. It's just the way that it evolved. It just kind of like, it's almost like it started off very Christian-y, and then just kind of lost all of the Christian aspects of it as it turned into a more of an Americanized...
it really is an American holiday at this point.
It really is an American holiday at this point.
We took it, we balled it up, we pushed it through a Macy's,
and we pushed it through a Macy's, and here we put Coca-Cola on top, and now we have Santa Claus, and he's going down the chimney. But that's the other thing, he goes down the chimney, and that's also because that's like, it's one of the thresholds of the home, and that's why you hang your stockings there. So they switched to stockings from shoes because it was just easier.
And they smell better.
They smell better. Did they? I don't know.
It's easier to clean a stocking than
to clean a shoe. It's easier to hang a stocking than hang a shoe.
Yeah, that's Santa Claus, man.
That's Santa Claus.
All right, how would you fight Santa?
Depends. Coca-Cola Santa? It's a lot easier than fighting Odin, I think.
Yeah.
So
take away his insulin and you beat the Coca-Cola.
Yeah, take away his insulin, spike the milk and cookies.
Yeah, I mean, he coaches the Chiefs now.
He does. He does. Yeah, I don't know. Make sure the fireplace is lit, and when he comes down the chimney, I'd just be waiting there with a stocking full of coal. Yeah, take it. Yeah, I don't know. I would just kick his ass. Going down, Santa. Oh. There's no way.
Yeah. You think you could take him and his reindeer?
Ooh, reindeer are tough, man.
Yeah.
There's 8 of them.
Yeah. Do you want to say fighting the reindeer for the reindeer episode?
Yeah.
All right. We'll fight it. Charlie, one day we'll fight the reindeer.
I will one day fight the reindeer. We'll talk about reindeer.
Now, do you think you could take Father Christmas?
Yeah. It's just English Santa that's not an elf.
Do you think you could take Sinterklaas? With his buddy's war kit. Yeah, take on technically Spanish but Dutch Santa and a black guy.
Yeah. I could do it. It would just be a fight. It would be a real fight. Yeah.
You're 2-on-1 though.
2-on-1. That's all right.
You think you could take on Saint Nick?
Yeah. Yeah. Have you seen the pictures of him?
Yeah, he's kind of scrawny.
He's kind of scrawny.
You think you could take on Odin?
I mean, only have one eye to have to worry about. Take out that one eye and then he's blind.
We can see the future with this.
He's kind of easily tricked.
Yeah, I've noticed that about Nordic gods. They're kind of stupid.
Yeah, easily tricked. I feel like I'd be have to be like a mind game.
Yeah.
I think I would just have to play more of a wits game than a battle game.
All right, we'll come back to Odin when we get to the Odin episode.
Yeah.
All right, so let's rate Santa Claus.
All right, cool. Let's rate Santa Claus.
If you are under the age of 7, please leave the room.
No, Santa's real.
All right, Charlie.
Yeah.
How real do you think Santa Claus is?
100%.
Oh my God.
He's real. Santa's real. He's real. Don't fuck with me. I know Santa. I seen him. He brings juicy presents. He's actually good friends with my mom. I'll die on this hill. What do you think?
What are you giving him?
Shit. So Saint Nicholas was a real person.
Yes, Saint Nicholas is an almost confirmed real person.
Yes. So 5. He's real. Saint Nicholas is real. We're talking about Saint Nick, yeah.
We're talking about Santa.
Yeah. Santa Claus, which is Sinterklaas, which is Saint Nicholas.
Giving him 5.
He's real.
Okay. 100%.
100%.
So Saint Nicholas, yes, was real. Probably. Yeah. We don't have 100% confirmation, but they have a church name for him and post-mortem records of stuff. Santa Claus, Father Christmas, Santa Claus.
Very real.
Odin.
Super real. The problem is, it's like 5 different people in one.
Exactly.
Mixed together.
So, out of 5 points, you got 5 people, only one of them is real. I'm giving him a 1.
Damn, that's terrible. That's
all right. It's the truth, though.
You gave all of them 0s?
We know Father Christmas is really invented him.
You haven't given anything a 0 for realness. And you just fucking shit on Santa. Wow, you're getting cold. Fuck, Judy's gonna be so mad at you. She's gonna hate you now. It just said Santa's not real. Damn. Alright.
How cool do you think Santa is?
Fucking... So, as much as I love American consumerism, he's pretty cool. Let's just say this, man. It is one of those legends that kind of survived thousands of years.
Yeah, literally.
Literally. People have locked onto this and absolutely love this. They kept the traditions alive for thousands of years.
Yeah, I mean, some traditions we invented less than 1,000 years ago.
I know, but a lot of them, that gift giving, the trees, the elves, the wreaths, it all stems back to old winter solstice pagan traditions. Yeah. Proto-Germanic traditions, Catholic Church traditions. It's just a blend of, culture and everything that just kind of...
Culture stew.
It's a culture stew. I think that's super fucking cool. I like when people can finally just get the fuck along and say there's a magic red man floating through the sky. And nobody gets mad that you're tarnishing their belief system. They just said cool presents.
Presents and food.
Yeah. So fuck it, dude. Yeah. I'm going to give this a whopping high score of a 4.6.
4.6.
Yeah. Cool as fuck.
I like when Santa used to beat people with sticks. That was pretty cool.
That's cool. It's fucking cool.
So
it's cool.
I'm gonna give him 4.5.
Yeah, because the best thing about this, you can pick any version of Santa you like, and there's probably that version in history existing somewhere.
Oh, there's so many. So that's the cool thing. So we kept this very relatively narrow
to the roots
to Santa.
Of,
because there's a bunch of Santa Clauses that we are going to be covering throughout the years, because there are so many different versions of Santa Claus, like the Belsnickel and the other stuff that I have in our schedule, where they do different things. He carries switches and he hits bad kids, or the one Santa Claus that actually takes away the bad kids. There's Krampus. There's all this other shit. So Santa as Santa Claus, the stories and things that come with it, it's kind of funny that Coca-Cola literally invented him. So
reinvented him.
I'm going to give him a 4.5 for the quiz.
Yes.
How unique is Santa? I'm going to go out on a limb here and be real.
Yeah.
He's not, just because I know how many Santa Clauses there are.
No. Time out. You're fucking this up. You're fucking this up big time right here, dude. Santa Claus. The unique part about him is that that one name has carried over to so many traditions and belief systems. Name one other fairy tale creature that we celebrate as a fucking holiday around the world.
A rabbit.
They don't celebrate the fucking rabbit around the world. Fuck the Easter Bunny. And that's not even real. Like, that's not even a real fucking thing. Nobody's excited about the fucking Easter Bunny. When you were a kid and you get your picture taken with the Easter Bunny, it's a terrible
picture with the Easter Bunny.
I know, it's a terrible fucking experience every time.
She had fun.
She doesn't look at the Easter Bunny and go, "Wow, magic." She looks at Santa though and is like, "Oh my god, this is real." You realize the Easter Bunny's fake as soon as you understand that that's not what rabbits look like. Santa Claus, you're holding on to that shit. Santa came to my town just to get my Christmas wish. That's cool. Originality here, dude. If we're gonna go off originality, there is nothing on the fucking planet like Santa Claus. Nothing. Tell me I'm wrong. You're wrong. Fuck you.
I love how into Christmas you are, Charlie. It really is.
No, it's a great holiday, but also.
Did you love Christmas this much before you had a kid?
Not. Well,
like, do you think if we started the podcast years ago, right, before Judy and all that, do you think we'd be sitting here having the same conversation, or do you think you'd be more like, yeah, fucking, it's just a fat guy in a suit?
No, dude. I when I was in high school, I'd listen to Christmas music during Christmas season. It's a good time. Yeah, I have the Snoop Dogg Christmas album on my fucking phone right now.
I heard it on the way to fucking Charlotte. It was rough.
Christmas is good. In fact, you're in Charlotte, and there was just random Christmas music that was popping on my phone.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, it wasn't all Snoop Dogg either.
Snoop Dogg Christmas. I was like, what is happening?
Yeah, like, oh, that's another Christmas song. That's another Christmas song. No, dude, I like Christmas. Christmas is fucking cool. But regardless of my feelings on this, there is literally nothing like Santa Claus in the world besides versions of Santa Claus. It's...
All right, if you look at it that way, that Santa is the patient zero.
Yeah.
Then I guess, Santa's unique.
He's very unique. There is nothing like him. Absolutely nothing. Name one thing that seems similar.
Santa Claus?
Exactly. Santa.
The Belsnickel?
Yeah, Santa. So, what's your rating for it? What are you going to do here?
I don't want to give you the satisfaction, so I'm going to give him a 4.9.
Okay. I'm giving him a 5. Straight up. He's the most original fucking spiritual being on the planet. There is nothing like him. There's nothing celebrated like him. There is not a folklore creature that made its way into Christianity so strongly.
Besides Jesus.
Yeah, so but literally, there's nothing that's been able to accomplish what this idea has accomplished. It's cool as fuck.
All right, let's get the math duck ready.
Yeah, math duck ready. Saved you, Santa. You better get some cool presents.
The numbers.
Charlie Saves Christmas.
DNR special.
DNR special. Charlie Saves Christmas.
All right, the math duck is up and ready.
All right.
Oh shit! Hold on. No, he's not.
You're always, dude. Every time you see the math duck's ready.
To mute one of the things. Okay, there we go. Now the math duck is ready. I can unmute my piece.
All right, he's ready.
Yes.
5 plus 1 plus 4.6 plus 4.5 plus 5 plus 4.9. A whopping 25 points for December 25th.
Wait, really?
Yes.
Like on the nose?
On the nose. That's the spirit of Christmas,
that's
motherfucker.
That's fucking magic, dude. Wow. Okay.
The spirit of Christmas got 25 points.
That's honestly how the fuck did we? Just for the record, we did not plan that.
Did not plan that.
That's pretty wild. We actually fought over a score here and still managed to get 25 for the spirit of Christmas.
Yeah.
That's pretty neat.
Yeah. Very happy here. Hell yeah.
Dude, honestly, shit. I might have to bump up Santa's realism score. Just because of that.
Just because of that.
Now he has a 1.1, but it's still going to stay.
No, 25. You can't do that. You can't. It'll change the 25. That's set in stone.
That's set in stone.
That can't change. Okay. That cannot change.
25 out of 30 forever.
25 points for Santa.
Fucking wild.
Santa is real.
That's kind of creepy, honestly.
I can't believe you just shit on Santa like that. You should be so disappointed in yourself for saying Santa's fake. Wait, quick question. Would you be able to fight Santa, or would you just run away?
I'd fight Santa. He's just a fat guy.
All right, cool.
Shoot him. I don't know.
You'd be afraid of the Christmas magic.
What's he gonna do?
You wouldn't be able to see him. You don't believe.
I've heard a jingle bell.
Yeah.
That's it for this one.
Yeah, that's all I have to talk about with Christmas. Thanks, guys, for coming to our Christmas special.
Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas. Happy holidays.
If you don't already, give us a follow everywhere. Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Facebook. Subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Twitch. Follow us on TikTok.
Yeah.
Do all that kind of cool stuff. Buy some merch if you want it. We have an ugly Christmas sweater. We'll see you in the next one.
Yeah. See you next time, guys.
Peace.
Peace.